Following is a paid program by the Whitley Law Firm. Welcome to Attorneys on Call, the program that gives you free legal information from the Whitley Law Firm. Now, here's your host, Drew Smith.
Well, hi again, everybody, and thanks for joining us for this edition of Attorneys on Call. We think we have a very interesting show for you scheduled for the next 30 minutes. And don't forget, at any time during the show, you can call the 800 number on your screen or go to the website, and that is whitleylawfirm.com. We encourage you to go to the website often and also use the phone because attorneys are there to answer your questions. What is today's program about? Well, we've all seen the commercials everywhere. You've seen them on TV. You've probably seen the advertisements online as well. Low T or low testosterone, something that affects a lot of men. It can affect a lot of men over the age of 40. I can tell you that myself, I remember the last time I got a blood test and went to the doctor, I asked him, I said, well, can you just kind of check my testosterone level? And he said, sure, I can check that for you. It's a simple blood test. Got back to me about 10 days later and said, you're fine, you're okay, you don't have to worry about it. You're in the normal zone. But that might not be the case for you or one of your loved ones. And so that's why we're here today, because there are some dangers out there associated with some of the treatments for men out there who think they have or may have low T or low testosterone. Joining me in studio as always are Bob Whitley and Ben Whitley of the Whitley Law Firm. Gentlemen, great to see you as always.
It's good to be here. Good to be here.
Bob, you have been representing people around the state of North Carolina for many, many years now, and I know this is an area that your firm is getting involved in now in terms of medical malpractice, and this is an interesting topic we're going to be talking about today with men that have low testosterone and what Whitley Law Firm is doing in some of these cases, because what we're seeing now is some of the statistics. In fact, it says right here, 3% of all men over the age of 40 now taking a prescription testosterone product. It's very interesting.
That's a huge number too, Drew. You know, you use the term medical malpractice. This is not necessarily a medical malpractice claim, if there is one. It has to do with pharmaceutical claims, and we've handled a number of those over the years. And what we like to do is search the country and find the best firms that are handling these, that are filing the lawsuits, because it's a huge undertaking. You've got to have pharmacists on board, you've got to have medical doctors on board, because you're fighting these pharmaceutical companies that have almost unlimited resources and unlimited money to defend these cases. So what we typically do when there is a pharmaceutical claim that we feel could affect our clients, people in North Carolina, we try to find and search for the best firm to partner with to bring these claims. And I think Ben can tell you more about what he has done on our behalf in making that, doing that search, or I call it due diligence. We don't bring the pharmaceutical claims ourselves, but we want to make sure that whoever our clients get to do that, that they know what they're doing and have the resources to be on an even playing field. We still stay involved with our clients. They're our clients. And I'll tell you, Drew, I get bothered every day sometimes when I hear some of the political commentaries about injured people and lawyers who represent injured people, and it's kind of a less than dignified profession in the minds of so many of these people. And I want to tell you, I don't think there's anything more dignified than helping people when they need it most. I think what we do sometimes for people who have no hope, we help give them hope. Mm-hmm. And all we're trying to do is not let them win the lottery or get anything unfairly, but just to get what would be fair to compensate them for their loss. And sometimes their losses are huge. I met with a client just this week who will never, ever walk without assistance again, and she's 45 years old.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So there are huge losses and things these families go through, and we're there to try to fight for them and to make sure they're treated fairly.
Would it be safe to say that what you do as far as attorneys representing people that have been hurt in accidents, that have workman's comp claims and such, that practice of law has been politicized?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right.
Well, and I think even lawyers that do this, personal injury lawyers, I think that has been politicized to a certain extent. And, but, when I think about our clients, we could take it. We could take the criticism, do it to us. But what they do is they end up harming the clients, make it harder to bring a lawsuit, make it harder to get into a courtroom, which has always been the pillar of our judicial system and the backbone of our country. And then for a kind of an ordinary person to go in there with a disadvantage it's just not right.
Ben, this is you're part of this family law firm that represents people all around the state of North Carolina. You have many offices around the state, from Charlotte to New Bern and everywhere in between. What does it mean to you to be a part of this firm and now getting into some of these cases that we were talking about with the pharmaceutical claims?
Right, and it's an honor to help families in North Carolina. And I want to talk to folks out there about what the problem is too. The problem is some of these hormone replacement therapies, the testosterone replacement therapies, are causing an increased risk in men having heart attacks or strokes or blood clotting.
Serious stuff.
This is serious stuff. I met with a man the other week who had suffered 2 heart attacks. He had been using one of the more popular products that you hear about out there, and he's on disability now. He can't work, and this has changed his life. He had no prior health issues, no prior cardiac issues, and has completely changed his life. And this may be caused by the use of that product. And if that product caused that harm and set this man back like that, then that company should be held accountable if they didn't warn the folks out there, if they didn't warn the doctors. And the claims that we're looking into are not claims against doctors. These are not medical malpractice claims. We're not bringing lawsuits against the doctors who prescribed it. We're bringing lawsuits and bringing claims and helping people bring claims against the manufacturers who made these products. And I think that's I just want to make sure everybody understands that.
And some of these statistics that we have, for example, annual prescriptions for testosterone increased more than 5-fold from 2000 to 2011, reaching more than 5 million prescriptions in the market, with a $1.6 billion in a market.
And that last number is an important number. This is big business. We've seen all the ads. And I think what's important about our firm is that with offices, like you say, in Charlotte and all over the state, that we're there to meet with men that maybe have experienced this, that may have had a heart attack, that will meet with you in our office there in Charlotte, or come to your office if you're comfortable with that, to talk about these claims, because this is going to involve a detailed medical history, and this is going to be involved in wanting somebody that you can meet with face to face so that you can discuss these claims.
And of course, spouses and girlfriends and daughters and all family members are going to be concerned by this, because this is affecting a lot of men.
Absolutely. So, right. We're here to help and answer any questions that you may have. We've got operators standing by. You can call the number on the screen, give your information. They're going to take down some of your information, and you will be getting a call back from an attorney. And this is a free consultation, so it's not going to cost you anything to see if you have a claim, to give us a call to talk about some of these issues. And we're going to get into some of the more specifics of this problem in the next segment.
And I think what's interesting about this as well is the marketing that has been done by these pharmaceutical companies. We're going to get into that in just about a minute or so in our next segment. But that is really kind of the story behind the story, correct?
Absolutely. There's always more to it.
Yeah, here's the story behind the story, I think. It's profits over people. They're making so darn much money on this product that they're spending a whole lot of it on advertising so they can make more money. And it's very similar, I think, when they did the hormonal replacement campaign for women, postmenopausal. And what they found then with their products is they hadn't been adequately tested. It was such a rush to profit. They didn't test the drugs. They didn't go through very carefully how the women needed to be screened and tested before they put them on these drugs. And then they had all these harmful things. And unfortunately, some of that's happening. Now, I guess, I'm a man, and these commercials are very attractive. And men that I have friends that are taking the drug, and they talk about how much energy they have and how it's improved their life, and probably they're going to be okay. I mean, it's not going to affect everybody adversely.
Sure.
But if it's going to harm too many that perhaps needed more information, or their doctors needed more information before they put them on the drug.
Some important studies just released this year in 2014 that we're going to talk about that bears out some of these kind of dangerous statistics when you're talking about low T. Back in just a moment. You're watching Attorneys on Call.